Hello YouTube friends. This vintage bicycle light was given to me by my follower and friend, Tommy. He sent me a video of him fixing old crappy bikes and asked if I could modernize this light by adding LEDs and a rechargeable battery. I like bikes and LEDs, so I accepted this one more unpaid job. Hi, I'm Dario, and in this video, I'll show you how I transformed this old light into a modern LED light in my own lazy, cheap, and superficial style. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It's fun, and sometimes I even do something that makes sense. I could design a custom PCB for this project, but it's summer here in Italy, and I'd like to go to the beach later. The quickest solution would be to buy these inexpensive Chinese lights and try to adapt them to the headlight housing. The package includes USB-C cables for charging. Cool. Here is the connector for charging them. Cool. Despite the sunny day, they are reasonably bright. Cool. Now, we have to figure out how to put them in our case. From what I can see, there are only 2 screws on the edge. First, let's remove this old, rusty wood screw. Then there's this old flathead M3 screw. This tin ring looks like it came from an outhouse. On the other hand, the reflector is very nice. The back cap is made of prehistoric plastic and is slightly damaged. This rubber gasket is to make it waterproof. As you can see, I can't force the light into the body. I have to come up with a more elegant solution. I tried to open the red light with a small screwdriver. I broke the reflector. Then, I tried using a large screwdriver. Finally, I managed to open it with my hands. The board looks decent. The battery is 180 milliamps. I thought it would be a bit larger. The shape and size of the circuit fit well in the reflector. That's good news. Now, I want to open the white light, which seemed brighter. I tried to open the red light with a small screwdriver. Then I tried with my cool knife. Then, I tried again with the small screwdriver. Then I tried pliers. Then I tried using a small screwdriver and a hammer.
2 hours later.
Done. Easy, right? The 2 boards are practically identical in shape and size. The batteries are the same shape, but the white light battery is smaller at 160 milliamps. Now that I have the bare circuit, I need to find a way to expose the switch and charging connector so that the headlight can be turned on without being disassembled. The next step is to solder the connector and button. I bought a new toy specifically to make this process easier. My old octopus worked fine, but this small, sturdy support will make it easier to show you the process. As I put together my new toy, I'd like to remind you that maintaining a channel like this one requires a significant investment of time and money. If you want more frequent videos and to never hear this crappy robotic voice again, support me by following the channel, using the product links in the description, and, most importantly, giving me your entire salary on Ko-fi. So far, only my mom has contributed. Grazie mama. Before doing anything, I disconnected the battery from the white light circuit to prevent short circuits. While searching for parts for the project, I found this button and this connector, which are perfect. Desoldering the button is easy. Just heat the contacts and pull it up with tweezers. The USB connector is slightly more complicated because it has many pins, and you have to work on both sides. With some manual dexterity and patience, I was able to solder the connector without breaking anything. Clean it up with toilet paper, and you're done. The board looks a little fried from the heat of the soldering iron, but I'm sure it's not damaged. Let's prepare the switch by soldering two 8cm long cables. Then, solder them onto the board in place of the switch. There are a few things to consider when soldering the USB-C connector. The connector on the board has 6 closely spaced pins, and we need to determine where to solder the positive and negative poles of our new connector. Looking at the diagram, it seems that the best connection would be to solder the positive pole to pin B9 and the negative pole to pin A12. To be clear, here is the positive and here is the negative. Now that we understand the positions, let's solder the two wires together. Then, let's solder the battery. All that's left to do is test it. If the LED flashes correctly, then everything is working. Cheers! I used my new 3D printer to create a professional shell. It's about 20 times faster than my old printers, so the job was quick and easy. If you're interested, I can talk about it in a video. Initially, I tried to imitate the original shell by adding holes for the button and connector. However, I wasn't satisfied with the result because it didn't seem solid or personal. So, I designed a slightly different shell with a more regular shape. Most importantly, this new design allows it to be printed without supports and secures the board more stably. Okay, now let's install the button. I just realized that, to mount the connector, I have to desolder it first. Ugh! First, we insert the connector. Then, we solder the wires again. Finally, we apply heat shrink tubing to the cables for protection. After testing everything, we apply 10 kilograms of hot glue to protect the contacts. Amen. To secure the board, I printed 2 small brackets and fastened them with 4 12mm long M3 bolts. I screwed in a bolt. 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 I finished tightening a bolt, and now the board is securely fastened. To secure the cables and batteries, you only need 10 kilograms of hot glue. And then another 10 kilograms of hot glue. Our bike light is now mainly made of hot glue and weighs about 20 kilograms. Great! We can now reassemble everything. Can you guess what I'm about to do? I screwed in a bolt. As I look at this crappy, rusty wood screw, I realize that I can replace it with something better. All you need is a washer and an M3 bolt. Secure the washer with a nut. You don't need to tighten it very much. Just enough to keep the washer in place. This Chinese liquid is magical. It allows us to solder any metal with tin. Just 1 drop is enough. As if soldering a component, solder the washer to the bolt.
Et voilà.
Now, we have a much nicer, shinier bolt. Let's unscrew the nut at lightning speed and then screw the bolt back in place. Wow! I think I can go to the beach now. When I get back tonight, I'll test out our new bike light. If you've watched this far, means you've enjoyed it. Follow my channel to find out how to give me your entire salary. The links in the description will show you how. The sunset at the beach was beautiful. Now, let's get back to our project. The light's visibility is decent, much better than the original. I'm satisfied because we managed to give new life to an old object in just one afternoon and for just a few euros. I hope Tommy will be happy with the result. Thanks for your attention, guys. Please follow and support me because I don't want to get a real job. Ciao ciao.